You think this IRS scandal is just going to go away? Well, take a look at these newly released emails. You might be thinking again about that. A Tea Party is very dangerous. Cincy should probably not have these cases. These are the words of Lois Lerner. And if Attorney Jordan Sekelo is right, these are words that are going to come back to bite her. The woman in charge of the very division that was overseeing what conservatives said were deliberate hit attacks on conservative and Tea Party groups. How big a deal do you think these revelations are going to be?
I think, Neil, that this has changed everything. This is the direct evidence that this was partisan political targeting. I mean, it was all coming together. There were various reasons for Lois Lerner to take the fifth because she could be facing real criminal charges, but this just brought it all right to a head. We're actually looking at changing our lawsuit. I mean, the fact that she's calling the Tea Party cases, quote, very dangerous, and then says in all caps, we're not going to run these through Cincinnati. On top of that, in June of 2012, she responds back to her top advisor's email about Senate Democrats being in trouble because of outside conservative money, and she writes back, perhaps the FEC will save the day. Well, you know what happened, Neil? The FEC didn't save the day for Democrats, but Lois Lerner did.
You're talking about the Federal Election Commission. I do want to backtrack a little bit, Jordan.
She shut down the Tea Party.
You know this inside and out, but I just want to say the allegations in the beginning of the IRS was targeting conservative groups willy-nilly out of Washington. The original argument was these were some rogue agents in Cincinnati.
Right.
When you have Lois Lerner now saying, you know, maybe we should be moving this back to Washington, that clearly dislodges that argument. So what's going to happen now? What do you think happens now? She's going to be compelled to testify again. They have to probably do some sort of a deal to make that happen. What do you see happening?
Well, there's two big dates coming up. There's a hearing next week with the IRS acting commissioner, Danny Werfel. And I think the question for him will be, you had a 30-day review where you said there was no evidence of partisan targeting, and yet you've got a woman who is the head of exempt organization, Lois Lerner, who takes the fifth, who's got these emails incriminating her. So why didn't you find those? Then we've got October 7th, the government has to respond to our 41 group lawsuit. So that's coming up as well, Neil, October 7th. So I think we're going to see, again, congressional hearings. The big question, I think we're at that point now, Lois Lerner is either going to have to be granted immunity or she's going to stop speaking. So I think congressional investigators, because I think she'd sing like a bird if she has that immunity, which would prevent her from criminal prosecution, because when you see these emails that are being released, this is someone who could be going to jail. And so it'd be worth it to her to take that immunity and testify. But what we do know now is that this was all Washington, 100%, and a complete lie about Cincinnati, trying to throw that on those low-level workers like they tried to do. The White House should have known better.
All right. She should have known better, too. Word to the wise. Any of you contemplating a crime, don't email it. Just as a little aside. Jordan's the lawyer. I'm not but it seems like good practical advice. Jordan, thank you very, very much.